Hey, Sarah here. Welcome back to Never Out of Books, because I am never out of books. And part of the reason that I'm never out of books is because I keep buying books, which is what today is about. I have a book haul because I have as much control as a pack of wild dogs on a deer. I cannot remember whether or not I hauled this first book. I got it in the LitJoy crate, I want to believe, for April. I might have hauled it. I'm sorry if you're seeing this again, but Suitors and Sabotage by Cindy and Stee. This is a historical romance, I believe, Regency period. I read her other two books. They were delightful and I loved them, and I have actually been anticipating this one this year and will be getting to this very shortly. Then my husband took me to Barnes & Noble. And there will be more books coming because he gave me a huge gift card so that I could buy whatever I wanted to, and I still have money left. But I did buy these things. The first two are very chunky mass market paperbacks. The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. This thing is a brick, but better than the hardcover, I would think, for weight purposes. And I tend to do very chunky books better if I own them. And I do like Brandon Sanderson. So I got that one, and I got the second one, Words of Radiance. These are the first two books in the Stormlight archive. These were buy one, get one free, so I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry, I just couldn't. Then, in anticipation of the movie coming out, I purchased The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. I know these are not the original covers, but this is what they had, and I thought that they were pretty. I got all three of them, Never Fade, and In the Afterlight. I had no idea what these books were about until someone, actually another adult, actually told me what they're about, and then I was like, oh, I would read those books, because I really thought that they were very, very scary, and I don't think that they are as scary as I was thinking. Then I grabbed A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. This is a 3.1, I think, in this series. It is considered a novella, although it's 229 pages, and I think it's like a segue between the Feyre and Rhys's story and then everyone else's story with the cleaning up of the Night Court and all of that stuff. Then I grabbed Shadow Call, which is the second book in a series which name escapes me. This is a science fiction kind of space opera series. I have not read the first book, but I wanted a matching second. So I have no more, I have no reasons, I have no even rationale for why I bought this book, but other than it matches the first book really, really nicely. So then it was 11:45 at night, and I was going up to the locker room to get changed at work because I have to change before I go home, and I had to walk by the volunteer office, and outside the office there were a bunch of boxes, 10 boxes, and there was a sign that said free, and there were books inside. So they're really lucky I didn't just take all 10 boxes, but it's probably a good thing I didn't, because a lot of them had repeats of the same books. But I grabbed 15 books and then proceeded to lug them out to my car. So here they are. Do not know what a lot of these are about, and some of these were series that I didn't plan on reading, but I guess I'm going to now, and some of them are not first books in series, but whatever. It's all jumbled and crazy, but you'll see. So I got Amor and Summer Secrets. This is by Diana Rodriguez Wallach. This is like a coming of age. She's Puerto Rican and she has to go to see her family in Puerto Rico for the summer and all kinds of stuff, coming of age. And I guess I should probably say that most of these are young adult or children's books. They seem to be collecting from one of the schools for this. So if you're looking for adult books, you're not going to get a lot of them here. I also grabbed The Disreputable History of Frankie Landau Banks. This is by E. Lockhart. E. Lockhart is the author who wrote We Were Liars, I think it was. I didn't really like it, but this looked kind of good, and it's set in a boarding school, and I'm kind of a sucker for boarding school books. Plus it had awards on the cover, so I figured, why not? And it was free. And never opened, just so that you know. I also grabbed, because there were a lot of them there, so I really didn't feel guilty, Wide Sargasso Sea by Jean Rhys, which I've meant to read at some point. Now I have it, so maybe I can prioritize it or not. We'll see. These three do not add to my TBR, as I've already read them, but this author is one that I own all of the books for, except for these three. So I grabbed them, and it's Ally Carter is the author. High Society, Uncommon Criminals, and Perfect Scoundrels. These were the ones who got me going into Ally Carter's work. They are heist novels and are just so much fun. I loved them. They get like very strange ratings from people on Goodreads. Adults don't necessarily like them very much, but I'm not mature enough to not like this. Then I grabbed a trilogy that I had actually DNF'd. I'd liked the first book, but wasn't really interested in reading the other two because of the dystopianness. I was kind of done with it, but they were here and they were free, and I had no willpower. It was 11:45 at night, people. Okay, so Matched by Ali Kandi, Crossed, and Reached. And this is dystopian romance sort of stuff where you're matched with someone who you are going to marry, but she's not matched with the right person, or I don't know, some big thing. Then I saw this one, and again, this was not necessarily on my TBR, but now I have it, so it is. And that's Winger by Andrew Smith. This is also a boarding school novel, and I'm a sucker for the boarding school. This one I've never heard of in my life, but it looked good. Ditched, a Love Story by Robin Mellum. And it looks like on prom night she was thrown out of a moving vehicle and she doesn't remember what happened. Then I grabbed this delightfully beautiful hardcover of The Grey Wolf Throne by Cinda Williams-Chima, which I've heard of on BookTube. I don't know what this series is really about. When I looked at the back of this, it didn't look too awful for me, like, because, you know, I have personal boundaries that I just can't cross when it comes to magic stuff. Like, I just can't deal with it. But, again, it was free, and if I decide that the series is too much for me, I will donate this again, because, you know, it was donated in the first place. So it's not hurting anyone. Then I grabbed some middle grade. We have The Rise and Fall of Mount Majestic by Jennifer Trafton and Brett Helquist. Looks like this. I think this is beautiful. It looks like this book was never even opened, to be perfectly honest. It even has the Strand bookmark still in it from the person who bought it. Then I grabbed book 3 in a series that, again, I didn't intend to read. The Serpent's Shadow by Rick Riordan. This is book 3 in the, I think, the Kane Chronicles. Again, never been opened hardcover. I read the Percy Jackson series, which I really, really liked, but didn't feel like the need to continue on with reading more of his works when there were other books that I really liked more. But now that I have this, maybe I'll read it. This is also the same story. This is the book 2 in the Heroes of Olympus series, which I have not read and didn't really intend to, but it's The Son of Neptune, also in hardcover and never been opened. And that, my dear friends, is a book haul, and proof that I have no control whatsoever. At this point, though, I really do need to be careful because my shelves are exploding again, and I don't have a lot of room for any more books. So I'm going to need to spend some time doing a read down of my shelves this summer. Hopefully of books that I will want to then unhaul, which I do with a lot of books. Unless they're 5-star books, beautiful books, or for some reason they're special to me, I usually do re-gift my books and do not keep them on my shelves, which is why you'll see me show pictures on my phone for things or top books and stuff, because I don't always keep them. My shelves are like a continuously changing portrait. So you will see when I do my summer TBR that I will be reading a lot of books that I hope to then get off of my shelves these coming months. I will talk to you again later. I hope you're reading something wonderful and that you're having a lovely day. Bye.